Honestly, I don't offer coaching. I've done very, very little coaching, but honestly, I really don't offer coaching because I make much more money an hour with my sales and my growth of adding new products, as I know you do too, Liz. I mean, your giving back is just incredible because I know how much you make an hour with when you're putting out products and you're rocking. So your gift and giving back to the community is greatly appreciated and inspires others to to share and be a part of that as well. And I've always felt fortunate to to be associated with you and some of the other great OG coaches that we share information with, because there's a lot of giving here. There's a lot of great information out there, and being able to find it and then just organize it and apply it, and the results are phenomenal.
Right. And one question I have for you is, like, looking back on all the stuff that you've done, or just all the different tactics and techniques that you do for your Amazon listings, looking back, first of all, it's two questions. First of all, what's the one thing that you recommend new people do, or people that are kind of just starting off and maybe they just have one product that's selling okay or a couple products that are selling okay? Because I know you have several. So what's the one thing that you recommend they do? And secondly, what's the most important thing that you've done in your business to kind of grow as quickly as you've been growing lately?
Oh gosh, one thing. I guess the one thing, if you're going to focus, I would say, and I'm going to try to take that as a trick question because I don't think there's one thing. So if I had to say one thing, I would say focus on completing the marketing cycle. Okay, so make sure your listings are solid. Make sure your listings are optimized. Make sure your pictures are solid. Your pictures look good. Make sure you've done your keyword research and that your products are jumping out and making people want to buy them. That's going to go a long ways as to whether or not your product is converting. And if your product's converting, you're going to make sales. Getting the traffic there is really pretty easy. Getting the reviews, getting all that, a lot of that's easy. But making sure that your product is priced right, is competitive in the marketplace, and is compelling for people to want to buy it. Really, the big scorecard is, I'd say probably what's your conversion rate. If your conversion rate's in, the 15, 20% or higher rate, you're doing okay. You're going to do well. But if your conversion rate is less than 10%, you've got people looking at your listing. They were interested enough to look at your listing, but they're not buying it. Why aren't they buying it? So, go back and revisit that and do some honest soul searching. And if you thought, well, this is a premium product and they should be willing to pay more for this, well, you haven't convinced them yet. If only 1 out of 10 people who click on your listing are willing to buy it, then you haven't done a very good job yet. You're either overpriced, you haven't shown enough of a compelling reason why your product should be purchased, that they're not buying it. So, I would make sure you've got a product that's converting and is converting well, and then you really go back out and start focusing on bringing more traffic to it, and whether it's paid traffic from the sponsored ads, or whether it's Facebook or Google ads, whatever you're going to do to drive traffic at that point, you can drive all the traffic in the world, but traffic costs money, whether it's paid traffic that you're going to get or whether you're going to optimize and try to bring traffic in on Google or other sources that you're going to optimize with. Traffic costs money, whether it's free, organic, or paid. If you don't take the opportunity and make sure that you're converting those people that are coming and looking at your listings, you're missing out tremendously, and you won't make the kind of money you should make as if you were getting a much higher conversion rate. So I would say the one thing would probably be the conversion rate. I kind of manage and play with my conversion rate based on different things because I know there's kind of a fine line there between where you're at in price-wise. It's really easy to convert 100%. You just pretty much give something away for $1 and everybody's going to buy it. Just ask anybody who's put a $1 coupon code out on Slick Deals or something that got their entire inventory bought out. It can go pretty fast and people will buy very quickly if you have a compelling offer. But that same kind of principle applies if your offer is compelling and looks great and people that are searching for that product want to buy it, then they're going to buy it and you're going to have a nice high conversion rate. Typically we run in excess of 30% conversion rate. when we want to, and then sometimes I might raise the price a little bit to see if I can't do some testing and increase my profits, and it might lower the conversion rate slightly. But I always kind of look for that sweet spot between the conversion rate and the profitability. Because honestly, I know if they're not getting it from me, they're going to get it from one of the competitors. One of the tools that we're using for market research is we've been using Jungle Scout just to kind of get the idea what's going on, what the competitors are doing, and how big a market is. Again, nothing's going to be 100% accurate, but if I come out here and I find the different competitors and things that might be out here in a market, I can come over here and do a one click on Jungle Scout, and it'll go out and it'll search, it'll find the bestseller rank for the product, how many sales that they're getting, estimated sales, and what the dollar volume of that particular product is. Again, it's an estimate. There's no real perfect one answer meets all. But for that particular keyword search, we were coming in number 2. We had a BSR of 448. They're showing about, that's pretty accurate. It's actually a little bit low. That's probably about 20 or 25% low, I would guess. But it kind of gives us an idea where we stand compared to the other competitors that are in the market. And so you can start to look at that. And if you're not converting, then the market's still here. If you look at those top 5 that are out there, you've got almost $200,000 worth of monthly sales on this particular product just in your top 5 or 6 listings. So if you're not converting that and getting a large share of that revenue, your competitors are. And if you're trying to drive traffic into a particular keyword, if they're not buying your product, they're probably buying somebody else's product. And so, trying to make sure that you get a good conversion rate and that you can, I turned the Moz bar off, that you get that conversion rate and you're able to get sales, I would say is probably the number one thing you should focus on is, making that listing look really compelling, getting great pictures, getting great reviews, and then work on getting it to rank. And you'll rank with conversion, velocity, reviews. All these things help. And then as the more volume that you get, the better you're going to rank. And it's kind of self-perpetuating. Once you get up in that top 3 and you kind of work those listings, it kind of goes on autopilot. You don't have to send as much traffic there anymore, from sponsored ads or search or the review groups or anything like that. Because once you get in those top areas, then people are seeing it just based on search or the category listings, and they're going to buy based on that's what they look for, and they may not go a lot further. So once you get to a certain point, your momentum will carry you, and you'll be able to move on to other products and new categories because it's going to carry itself at that point.
Right, and as far as the success that you've had in the past couple months, I think you've almost doubled, right? Have you doubled your overall profit or sales?
Yeah, we did. Since like February, we did double our business.
What do you feel was like number one most important thing to doubling that business?
I think just a lot of things came together. We moved from like number 4 on our main keywords to number 1 on most of those main keywords. We got the bestseller badges up. We got plenty of inventory in. We finally got a handle on our inventories so that now we don't run out of inventory. Because all throughout the winter, we just kind of just get there and be close, and then we'd run out of inventory. Sales would just keep growing and expanding, but we would run out of inventory, and then it kind of fell back. And so we were never able to quite make that push until we had sufficient inventory management. And we started really kind of making that push. So we were sending a lot of air shipments in, which was really kind of, counterproductive because you start spending $6,000-$7,000 in air freight on an air shipment that, you would have spent maybe $1,500 on for sea freight. So we finally got a handle on our inventory levels and building those up and getting a large quantity in so that we don't run out. And now we've cut our air shipments back to about once a quarter and maybe one very large sea shipment a quarter. And that's kind of working out for us pretty well right now. So I'd say that's been a big part of the momentum is having the proper inventory in. We've been we've been sending a lot of links off here. We've been really working on analyzing some of our competitors' links and what they've been doing, and just trying to push by them. We dropped like $1 in our price, but if you look here at the top three for 10 unit electrodes, we're at $21.95, and we've got a 44 pack. The number two guys at $15.99, and the number three guys at $20.95. So we're the highest price, but we were at $22.95, but we were able to make a huge push, moving from $22.95 down to $21.95. And that along with the bestseller badge has really helped explode a lot of what we've done. And we've been using different links and different methodologies for link building and starting to get juice, and that's helped us in Google. We were able to push up to where we weren't even found on Google with our Amazon listing. We've got it into number 4, and now we've got it up to number 2 for most of those. And of course, the goal there is, I'm not going to be satisfied until we're number 1 on Google and on Amazon. Because I think a lot of that kind of becomes self-perpetuating in the volume. And now really it just comes down to keeping an eye on the competition, managing inventories, managing expectations, keeping a good product in the reviews. And that's kind of, at this point, this one just kind of is going to run on its own, and which is allowing us the time to spend the resources on launching new products, which is where I'm really excited, because now as we launch new products coming into Christmas, we're launching 4 new products in the next probably in the next 3 weeks that I think are going to be phenomenal. We've put very large initial orders in, and we'll have all that product in before Christmas, and very excited to see where it goes.
Oh, it sounds really awesome, Mike. I don't know if we got Mike Long back.
Yes, I'm here. Actually, I'm here. I've been just eating popcorn and enjoying this event. It was really incredible. I wanted to point out what Mike said about the conversion optimization plays right into the webinar that I did with Dana Derricks that Liz organized for us. That the copywriting professor. And I think, how many people got that book from that webinar? We actually have a pretty full audience at this point. More people started coming on. Give me the number 1 if you happen to have picked that up from Dana. If you haven't, you can go to omgmachines.com/Dana, DANA, and yeah, I think a few people already got. Oh, Dave Fripp, yep, Dave Fripp's on right now. Hey, David. Liz, you weren't able to meet up with David in the UK.
No, unfortunately I didn't. I did meet up with a couple OMGers. Elena and Sue came out here, and I think I missed Jasmine, but we had a great time, actually. And next time I'm in the UK, I will definitely give everybody at least a month's notice. That way we can get out here or wherever I'm at, and we can hang out and have some drinks.
Awesome. Susan says that she loves the book. Yeah, I'm pretty deeply impressed with that. I think that Liz pretty much hit the nail like square on top of the head with that one. And it's just a great resource. We put that in your members area. Probably right. I would presume that David Mills put it next to Jason Fladlian's really outstanding conversion training. I'm gonna go into the breakthrough members area and have a look and see if I can spot it. But yeah, I think that was, boy, Mike, this just kicked butt. I mean, everything you talked about, everything you laid out here for people, and just such a complete integrated process. I was actually messaging Liz that we should probably consider moving this up in the Amazon training, so it's a little bit can help people get oriented. Yeah, I'm scrolling right now to the Amazon area, to Amazon training.
Yeah, and honestly, Mike, I'm going to come back. I'll talk to Liz. A lot of these things I think we can put together in smaller, focused trainings and put out and start to enhance that, which we've kind of planned to do. But it's just been a very busy summer with all the assimilation events that I've been attending. A bunch of them. I know you and Liz attended all of them. But like things like the copywriting professor, and it's like I didn't even make my list that I was putting together, but I've had 3 of my VAs going through and training on that, and they've actually written my new listings. So they did the keyword research, and they've written the listings for my new products that are coming out, and I think they're going to be phenomenal, and I'm very excited about them. I think these are going to be my biggest products yet, and it's just really awesome. But yeah, I mean, it's just all the training, everything that that we've got available to us. Put it into use. I mean, implement it, organize it. If you can have start to put your team together. And honestly, Mike, maybe we'll do a thing on teamwork too at some point on how to manage all these projects and how to find people that can do some of this stuff, because honestly, you have to learn to delegate, and delegating is an art. It's identifying the task, setting the strategic direction for your company, and then starting to find somebody that can help you manage those tasks. Find technicians that can do the task. I think one of the big things I really came to the realization is the value of my time, and I stopped doing $10 an hour work. Honestly, I stopped doing $100 an hour work. If my time that I spend is just worth too much to my company, it's I basically honestly, I should be everything I do. If I can get it done for less than $2,000 or $3,000 an hour, I should have somebody doing that, because I know the benefit of the time that I put into my business and how much it grows and how much that will continue to grow as these businesses are up and established.
Right.
What you're saying is, I'm sorry, go ahead, Liz.
I was just going to say, I was just about to tell everybody that's one thing that I think Mike, I'll call Michael in this case, or Bitler, that Bitler does better than anybody. Him and his wife, I believe, are like the best that I've ever seen at training their VAs. Their are just so awesome. It's kind of unbelievable. There's every now and then I'll have to tell him, because Mike's VA will message me about things, and I'll have to tell Mike, that VA you have is like a gem. I would definitely give her a raise, because she is just amazing. I've told him that so many times, but I really think it boils down to he's one of the best people in the business at training his VAs, and it's just kind of unbelievable, to be quite honest with you, how good him and his wife are.
Yeah,
I definitely give my wife some enormous credit on this. I mean, she's phenomenal. She's been a tremendous asset with her VAs. But the thing is, we find good people. We treat them really well. I mean, a lot of people in the U.S. The Philippines has people in the U.S. have a very bad reputation when it comes to working, the U.S.-Filipino relationships. A lot of people just don't treat them well. I mean, a lot of these people are willing to bust their butt and do anything they can for you for $400 an hour. Why would you not treat that? I'm sorry, $400 a month. Why would you not treat that person as well as you would your $20 an hour employee who is working and producing, when that's what these people would cost you if you were using them in the U.S.? All you got to do is treat them well, be loyal to them. We give paid holidays, we pay them for their birthday, we send them birthday presents. We just really treat them well, and we've developed a lot of very loyal employees. We're very structured in the fact that we actually have video capture that all our employees, when they're on the clock, they have to log at least 40 hours a week working on projects that they were assigned to. That basically what that does is it takes a screenshot every 12 seconds of what's on their screen and compiles their 8-hour day into a 3-minute video that then my project manager can go back and make sure that they were working on things that were relevant, that their screen wasn't just sitting dormant, that they were not just kind of goofing around on Facebook or reading something on Yahoo or whatever. They're actually working on projects during this time that they're working, and we get a screenshot. So it's just with what they've been able to do, it's really phenomenal. But the structure has allowed us to make sure people are working, that they're working on projects. We have great communication. We use a product called HipChat, which is really phenomenal for communication. It's what would we call it? I don't even know. It's dedicated. So I mean, because you actually pay per user. So the only people that are on there are people within our team that have access to it. And so I'll set up meeting rooms, and I'll assign certain people to the meeting rooms. And when we're working on a project, anybody that's involved in that project has access to that room. We'll see what's going on in the communication, and it's all just kind of focused and funneled that way. And we get things done. If there's questions, I can go to a certain room. It'll be like right now, one's popping up, red, telling me that somebody's looking for me. They're asking questions. So I can go in and take a look at that when I've got the opportunity. But I can go in room by room and take care of any questions that are coming up. They're working on projects. They'll share links. The task will be assigned there, and the communication just flows very well because it's kind of structured and organized.
I can tell you what
the big thing I think has really been finding good employees, though. There's a lot of people over there that are highly educated, that are highly skilled, and if you find those people and you can convince them to come on and make them loyal employees, you'll get incredible value with the work that they do for you.
All right, great. I can really see that there's going to be incredible value if we can get the right kind of follow-up on this. What I'm thinking, just kind of off the top of my head, is about getting Bitler together with Joe Marfolio to update some of the outsourcing training, because really, clearly, Mike, you're doing some stuff that we want people to know more about. And of course, Joe's also a master. Of course, he doesn't know the things that you know, but he knows the things that he knows. And I think that the two of you guys putting your heads together could really improve the training we have on outsourcing. And you're right. I mean, it really is an incredible resource. There are just places in the world where people are, educated and passionate and want to have success. I really like, by the way, I haven't ever, Liz, I don't think I've ever heard of talking about almost like buying for or really courting outsourcers, like the way that Mike's really romancing them, right? He's really, because he recognizes the value, whereas other people are just kind of treat them, kind of implicitly treat their outsourcers somewhat like a commodity and not a person.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. He's very good at that. Like you said, it's primarily his wife, but I mean, he is very involved in it as well. But yeah, Josie spends a pretty decent amount of time managing them. I think they usually have what, Mike? Is it a weekly meeting that they have at the end of every week?
No, gosh, honestly, we're meeting with them really just about every night. But when we meet anymore now, that it's gone from one large group meeting, which they actually hold on their own now on Sunday nights our time. They'll have an hour or two meeting, which is kind of team building and discussing projects and things that we won't even be on that call anymore when they do that meeting. But now the meetings are almost constant because they're going on within a room with the subgroups that are meeting together. But then they will meet together in a large group and just kind of any questions or comments or concerns or whatever they're running into, and they will do that with the project manager. And really, we don't even have to be on that call anymore at this point. We just kind of get on and answer questions and help provide direction. I maybe go on once a month for the whole group to just kind of talk to them and lay out the strategy and where we're heading and what opportunities they're going to have for growth. Because one of the big things too is when you're courting these people is you want to let them know they're going to grow when they're with you. They're going to have access to new resources and new training and new tools and things that they're going to learn that's going to improve their skill set, that we hope they stay with us forever. But if they don't stay with us forever, they're going to leave their employment with us with a whole lot of new tools and a lot of new knowledge that will help them, in their next endeavor in life, whatever that might be. And, so that's a big part of our courting them, is letting them know that we are going to invest in them. We're going to give them new training. I have bought 5 of the 7 VAs that we have over there right now. I've bought them new computers, new monitors, battery backups, because guess what? They have power failures over there. But I've invested in them. Once they've kind of proven themselves and they're having computer issues, we'll invest. We'll buy them a new computer. I've done everything in my power to get them faster internet, and we'll pay for their faster internet so that they have access. Because in the overall scope of how much you're actually spending, compared to what you would spend to outsource that in the U.S., it's nothing. They could get a super powerful computer over there for maybe like $800. That's nothing compared to what you're gonna get that same computer over here. You're gonna spend twice as much, and then to give them those tools, they get excited. They say, "Wow, now I can get I can work 4 times harder. I can get 4 times as much work done as I was able to do before." They're not charging me any more money for it, but now they're excited because they can produce more, they can get more things done, and whether it's working on videos or putting up a WordPress site or doing graphics, whatever the case is, that faster computer that we provided them allows them to work more and get more work done, and we're the ones that get the benefit out of it.
Right. And quick question for you, Mike. Michael, I know a lot of people are probably wondering this, but I know for me, this has always been an issue every now and then with some of my VAs in the Philippines. But what do you usually give them when they run out of work, like when they run out of their primary task? What do they do on their downtime?
Oh gosh, they have regular weekly tasks that they will be doing. So whether it's creating videos, whether it's creating social media posts, whether it's writing press releases, or writing a blog article, they've always got those things that they can do that they can go out and write more that will occupy time. But if I have a priority project and say, okay, put the other stuff on the back burner, I want this done right away, I can give them that, and then they will start to do that. The other thing is training. As we move into new areas, I will start to cross-train some of these people to keep them engaged and keep them interested so they don't get bored, and I'll start to move them into another area. So I took the person that was writing a lot of our press releases, and I started having them learn how to do keyword research. I actually trained 2 people to do keyword research. And then I had those same people that learn keyword research learn how to do the copywriting and start to write based on Dana Derrick's copywriting program, the copywriting professor. So I'm starting to train them and starting to have them start to put the stuff together that allows them to kind of grow and expand. And the cross-training, I think, is probably one of the things that you could do to keep these people engaged, keep them interested, keep them excited about coming to work and working for you every day. I want my VAs to have the same excitement and the same enthusiasm about our products that I do. And that's one of the ways you can do it, is you set an environment and a culture that's going to allow them to flourish and grow personally as well as what they're able to do for your company.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so you answered my question, that's for sure. I wasn't sure, pretty much, for me, that's the single biggest problem that I have, and I know since you're an expert on that, I might as well take advantage of the fact that I have you on the phone right now before I forget to ask you later on. So one quick question. I know this kind of works with what Susan and McDowell is doing right now. Do your VAs load up videos? So have you taught them how to do the Wirecast method and/or create videos for Wirecast?
Yes, in fact, I actually we took a lot of the training that you did, and I had them write out SOPs on doing the Wirecast training. So a lot of times things like you and I will discuss like that, we'll put our standard operating procedures together. The VAs may have been the ones that actually did some of the basics, and then we can just go in and make whatever minor modifications or edits that need to be made. But yeah, Wirecast training, videos. I've had them we use like the Doodle video stuff, and they create Doodle videos for us, and they'll put different videos together. They'll write scripts for me to do updates and things like that we can come in here and shoot for the websites, and then once we shoot it on a green screen, I can send it back to them. They'll do the video editing. They'll remove the screens, and they can update that. So yeah, these are all things these people are very capable of doing. The biggest thing is honestly is just managing and making sure that you're delegating and giving enough strategic direction, and then allowing them to do what they do best, and basically make sure that you're accounting for their time and that they're engaged in the process.
And with that being said, I just wanted to remind everybody that if you have any videos that you want help with, to make sure you contact Susan and McDowell, because we're collecting data for her test, which is going to be really a huge benefit to everybody because the results we'll probably be sharing at OMG Live. And again, it's just to kind of see what changes that YouTube made in their last change of the Google Ads. So in order to do that, we need to get as much data as possible. And so when we get these videos ranked, it also rank your videos. I know there's been a bunch of OMG members in the Facebook group that have been they're raving reviews about all the stuff Susan's been doing, because bottom line is she's ranking their videos. So if you have a video that's actually not ranking, I highly recommend you give her a holler and she can get to work on that. So let's see if we got Mike again.
Liz, I'll be right back.
Oh,
Sure.
Great. So this has just been great, basically. Just quite a great event. Michelle's asking, what was that called again that you're using for the VA screenshots? You know, there's a few different softwares that do that sort of thing. I actually learned about this kind of outsourcing from Mark Lang back in 2012, I want to say. It's something that me and Greg Morrison started implementing and teaching even all the way back then. But you know, this ability to have a sense of accountability and to be able to watch your VAs with that software is just really strong. We'll get the name of the specific one that Michael's using when he gets back. Yeah, a lot of great questions on the software. Okay, yep, Michelle asked that. We'll make sure to get that to you. Are your VAs in a single office? So we'll ask Mike a couple of these questions. But I thought that this process map was just really, really helpful. And of course, like once you see all the things that Bitler's doing, you got to say like, well, how are you getting it all done? And the way he's doing it, obviously, with masterful use of VAs and something that he and his terrific wife are joined forces on and really a team on. So that is great. Hip chat, John says. Hip chat. Is that what you're recommending, John? Just let me know. And yep, and I did confirm that Dana Derrick's training is right there on the main Amazon page. And just one of the links on the right-hand side. Mike, are you back?
I am back.
Great. Couple questions for you here. First of all, lots of thank yous rolling in. Michelle wants to know, and we think that the answer is HipChat. What's the software that you're using for VAs to monitor screen shots and communications? Is that HipChat?
Actually, we use JoyProof for that.
Okay, great. JoyProof is named.
Yeah, Joy. I know they're not. Actually, we could probably get them. I know they only sell pretty much to like on a webinar to a group. So I know we could probably talk to Gonzalo.
Sure.
About maybe doing a webinar for OMGs.
Oh, sure.
But they don't even offer this on a normal basis. So we would have to probably get Mike to contact Gonzalo and set something up where they would make that available.
I'd be more than willing to do that. Just if you get a chance to shoot me over his email address, I'll take care of everything from there. Okay. Ben wants to know, Mike, are your VAs in a single office?
Actually, no. They all are home-based. They all work out of their homes, and they're actually scattered all over the country. They're not even close to each other in the Philippines.
Yeah, that's great.
But honestly, when you look like we use HipChat, they look like we're all right there together, and they, you would never really be able to tell whether they're here in the U.S. or whether they're in Utah or in the Philippines. You really can't tell because it just works as one integrated system for communication.
Yeah.
Whether it's our HipChat or the Teamwork software, it all really integrates very well together.
Love it. Outstanding. All right. Well, I think this event has just basically been nuts. It's been really great having Mike on here. And what I'm kind of angling to do is with what we've had here and to be able to build on it. I'm going to talk to David Mills and talk to Liz and talk to maybe Joe Marfolio and see if there's a way for us to better integrate and better give people an idea of Amazon outsourcing and also there's also just flat out things that Mike's doing that can just be illustrative of what you're doing with SEO. And by the way, let me point out, Mike, could you just pull up, just to kind of close things out, can you pull up that process map again, the original one?
Yep.
When we say that once you can do one thing in OMG, you're 90% of the way to being able to do another thing. So like if you are in Amazon, then it's very easy to start picking up clients. Or if you have clients, very easy to jump into Amazon, or the same with affiliate marketing and so on. Well, it's because so much of what we're doing is just the same dang thing, right? Like you just see tons and tons of SEO processes, SEO softwares, and then it's management from there. And, that's just a lot of what you're seeing. And, it's right. It's correct. It's just outstanding. This is great. The 4 pillars. It's brilliant, Mike.
Yeah, and basically, as I did, as I went through the training, I started, recording things. I started just, what was being talked about, where was it being talked about, what were the sections that were coming out. As you can see here, you can expand or shrink these links as you need to. So those were all things that were done in Pillar 1, so I can shrink that down. And now I can come in and look at things like the community profile links or like social profiles that were talked about. Again, this is nothing that that I've done. This is stuff that that Greg did when he was going through the pillars. But this is just a way that I've helped to kind of organize the training. So whatever I'm working on, so that if I need to go back and look at something quickly, I can see how the structure is.
And Mike, this way you're assimilating this. Like this is being assimilated, it's getting hardwired into your head. And you're so much like Cotton. When Cotton got inside of OMG, and people want to know, like, it's so often, and I kind of like a little bit want to leave this as somewhat parting words. We've got Liz. Liz is up super late. She's heading back to from London, and we had to kind of move things around. By the way, let me also point something out. Not only was Michael Bittler just fantastic on this webinar, but he was fantastic with zero notice because we had a totally different content plan in place. So this all came just like a rabbit straight out of his hat. But how did he do that, right? Well, he was prepared in the first place. He was organized in the first place. He was, he's been assimilating this stuff. And that's what Cotton did when he got inside of OMG. You talk to Liz. One of the reasons Liz is white hot when she's doing hot seats. She's super great at doing hot seats. Why? Because she knows everything. She knows how to do affiliate marketing. Let's do a quick, how Cotton every once in a while does fact or fiction. Liz also makes money from doing SEO client consulting. Fact or fiction? Anybody know? Does anybody know the answer? Fact or fiction? Liz Herrera makes money doing SEO client consulting. I'm not saying she makes all of her money. David Fripp said it. Fact. It is a fact, right? It's a fact. So just getting this stuff down, understanding this, any angle you take, and we have this inside of OMG, and whoever you are, this can really affect your bottom line. This is extraordinary stuff. So taking this sort of assimilation point of view, like Cotton's done, like Liz has done, like Jack Carvel has done, like Bittler here has done. It's really something Suzanne McDowell. She just gets in there, and just does it. She just goes hard. Ty just goes hard. It's awesome. I'm not going to do like a big, webinar thread on this particular one to, post a bunch of stickers and hashtag do this and that. But I'll tell you, to me, the number one thing I like about this is, and this is the second week in a row we've had, or second webinar in a row that we had, because we had David Fripp last week, and it was in a lot of ways a lot of similarities, because they came in and they just did it, and they did it hard. They're A-type players. They're what they're doing is they're coming in and they're using their stamina to really be focused on assimilating, like really understanding and digesting and integrating being immersed, just hardwiring it into their brains. And that's really what you see Mike doing here. So this is, anyways, it's unbelievably valuable. I wanted to get Mike's final words here. Obviously, it looks like he's pulling up something really cool here.
Oh, yeah, I mean, this is just another one of the tools. I kind of mentioned it earlier, but this is one I've really liked. This one's called Manage by Stats. One of the big things I think a lot of you guys, when you're looking at some of the software, is if you go in to try to find an Amazon customer by name, you're not going to find them. You can't find them through the Amazon system. So there's a couple pieces of software that will actually go out there and integrate with an API, and will grab your customers. So very quickly, you can have a customer contact you, and you don't necessarily have their order number or whether or not they bought, how many times has a customer bought from you. You can quickly come in and put in their name or their city or their state, and you can quickly go in and search and find those customers. You can find things like your repeat buyers. Maybe you want to find out who's been your best buyer. So this is all sample data. But you'll come down and you can see like all the transactions somebody gave you. Wouldn't it be great to know who the people are that give you a lot of business, that buy from you on a regular basis? If somebody's bought from you 25 times, do you think maybe you want to, maybe do something a little extra special for them? Maybe recognize them, make sure you've gotten a review from people that have done those multiple buyers. So and there's a lot of features and stuff like that. And I know we're kind of wrapping up here, but they've got inventory management features, transactions, stat graphs. So there's a lot of different features in here that honestly I think we could probably go into a whole section at some point. But one of the things I think, especially as we kind of wrap up the year here and we go into OMG Live and stuff, is want to start doing some more of these things and just basically doing some kind of more mini things that we can put up in the session under Amazon that will help you guys as you're kind of moving through. Because I know honestly Liz can't do everything. Well, she can do everything, but she can't do everything yesterday. So the idea is to help put some of the stuff out there and make some of these things a little more available to you.
So it's almost like OMG, the city on a hill or something.
It is. It's a city on a hill.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, I want to especially thank both Mike for coming on impromptu and really turning what was a pretty frustrating situation into something incredibly awesome. And also thanks and congratulations to Mike for all the training he's been putting in our members area. Really looking forward to seeing more. And of course, thanks and congratulations to Liz. Liz is the belle of the ball. Everyone is really excited to see her in London, and now, thank goodness, she's finally coming home. And so we really welcome her back, and just cannot wait to see her. All right, that is going to that's going to wrap things up for this event. But we had a great time. Liz, do you have anything else you wanted to add before you knock off and get some sleep?
No, I think you guys hit the nail on the head. That's pretty much it.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks so much. Thanks once again to Mike Bittler. Thanks once again to Liz. And thanks to you for jumping on and joining in on this event. I know if you're anything like me, you got a ton out of it. And I will see you the next time we do one of these events. All right. Talk to you soon. God bless.